Hello YouTube. So it's been like a year since I've given you any sort of updates, posted any sort of video, and I'm sorry about that. How do I explain what happened? So I was making a three-part video series about my trip into the Amazon jungle along the Ecuador-Peru border. And when I put together the last video for it, edited it, looked at it, I was like, I don't have a good video here. And I never posted it. And I just kind of got stuck. And, I thought, well, I'll get back to it, put up a new video in like a month or so. And a month came and went. And before I knew it, a year came and went. I'm not in Ecuador anymore. I'm in Poland now. I'm about to wrap up my contract here. I just went overseas to make a little money, basically to further my projects in Ecuador. And, I thought when I got to Poland, oh, of course, new place. I'll put out some videos on this place. In part because I'm here in the winter in northern Poland, and in part because, I don't know, Poland, I'm really not feeling it. I just didn't have anything good to say, and I didn't want to put out a really negative video, but I'll try to show you around Poland a little bit, show you some of the more interesting and beautiful aspects of it, and try to get back into the swing of putting out videos before I wrap up this job, go back to Ecuador and put a little work in on the farm. And then after that, a couple months after I return to Ecuador, I'm heading off to a job in Alaska. Anyway, here we go. So I'm in this kind of small industrial town in northern Poland. And it looks about like you would expect an industrial town in northern Poland in January. There is some beautiful architecture out here, but it's kind of a dreary place this time of year. The air smells like coal smoke, because most of the heating is from coal, and it's just got a little bit of a ex-Soviet vibe going on. Some cool things about this place: I'm only about 30 minutes from the Baltic Sea, so I can hop in my car and head up to the ocean, check out some cool stuff up there. I'm gonna edit in some video I took a long time ago in mid-fall, walking around in the forest up by the Baltic Sea. Show you a little bit more interesting time and place in Poland. I had no idea that these forests along the Baltic Sea in northern Poland were so cool. It's an amazing part of the world I never imagined. I'm loving it here. Very beautiful and very different from the types of forests that I'm used to. It's a new experience. I'm going to show you around a little bit. That's the Baltic Sea over there. This definitely isn't a completely wild forest. You can tell it's cleaned and groomed like many of the forests in Europe. It's a managed forest, but very beautiful and interesting nonetheless. Pine trees. I didn't expect to find pine trees here. That was not what I expected. So it's early October, almost mid-October. Surprisingly beautiful sunny day, but it's cold. It's cold enough that holding my phone, my fingers are getting a little numb from that cold wind blowing in off the Baltic Sea. But still absolutely wonderful day. Most days here are very windy and very rainy. Today, for once, on my one day off a week, we've got sun and the wind isn't kicking up too bad. It's absolutely glorious. This elevator is a little scary in my building. For a while, every time it would hit the 5th floor, it would get stuck. There'd be a loud bang and the elevator would get stuck. It's fixed now, but yeah, scary elevator. It's definitely a very Polish building here. Ooh, it's windy outside. Wind might be blowing a little too hard for me to record video. So I'm going for a walk in my little Polish town here to go get some food. It's about noon. One of my favorite restaurants is about to open up, so heading over there. In Poland, pretty much everything shuts down on Sundays. You'll find convenience stores, gas stations, a few restaurants, not all of them, but a few, and liquor stores are open. I don't know why they have liquor stores open on Sunday. I guess it's a Polish thing. But what you won't find are any other shopping. Grocery stores are closed. The malls are closed except for the food courts. Pretty much big shopping day, Sunday. But in Poland, it's I don't know, sit at home and do nothing day. This is one of my go-to restaurants in town, a place called Full Bull. Really good food, a little pricey. I'm not heading there today because they're not open yet. But if you are in Slupsk, Poland, I do recommend dropping in and maybe getting the ribs. They're awesome. This is real typical of the housing, the apartments and condos in the town. I'm going to take a quick detour to show you guys the train station. I got to be careful filming in here because you actually can't just film people in public in Poland. It's illegal. So I need to be cautious about where I point my camera and what I'm capturing. But let's see if we can kind of sneak up behind the train station. Inside the train station, there's going to be too many people around, and I won't be able to do any good filming in there. Very Soviet feeling train station here. Polish people tend to stare at anything that is unusual. Right now my hat is getting a lot of stares just because it's not Polish style. It's not normal here. Oh well, they can just get used to it. So I'm almost to my little lunch spot. It's not that Polish food is bad. Polish food is pretty awesome. I've had some great meals here at some of the Polish restaurants, but today I'm going to an Indian place because I'm addicted to Indian food, so going into a little place called Masala. If they're actually open on time, they're not always open when they're supposed to be. So here goes. All right, lunch had, heading back to the apartment. Probably gonna be a lazy Sunday here. I'm on a pretty crazy schedule. Most weeks working 60 hours a week, sometimes 64, 65 hours a week. So Sundays are a nice break, and I try not to do too much. Go out, get a little food, walk around, rest up. So I've watched quite a few travel vlogs about Poland, and they almost always seem to concentrate on the big cities, places like Krakow and Warsaw, and I always mispronounce it. It's spelled like Wrocław, but it's like Warsaw. And Gdansk, places like that. And those sort of places, yeah, they're happening. They're big, exciting cities with a lot to do, and they're a lot more polished. But once you get out of the big cities and you get into the mid-sized cities and smaller towns in Poland, it can be a little rough. It's not as picturesque as some YouTube vloggers will make it seem. It's still interesting, but it can be a little rough around the edges. So specifically, the things that I'm not super enamored by in Poland, the air quality. Man, this coal burning has got to stop. It's gross. The smell of the air here in wintertime is terrible. It's polluted and it's unhealthy. The bureaucracy. There's just a very ex-Soviet, Eastern European sort of love of bureaucracy in this place. One of the most frustrating things is there is something about the character of the Polish people that, I don't know how else to put this, kind of delights in the suffering of others. Like somehow someone else having a bad moment makes life better for you or for others, right? Like, so like people will just do little things. People will just do little things to make life worse for others. It is a particularly Polish characteristic. I don't know where it comes from, whether it's something they adopted in Soviet times, or it's just, I don't know. And I don't know that I've got it right. I don't know that I'm judging this place correctly. Maybe it's just this part of Poland. I'm in part of Poland that's pretty near Germany and really far north. Life is hard. The climate is rough, and people seem to they seem to delight in the suffering of others. I don't know what's going on with that, but whether it's just standing in the way or driving particularly fast behind you or particularly slow in front of you, or any number of silly little things that they do, but it really stands out as something uniquely Polish. And I know that sounds a little prejudiced. I'm sorry. I gotta call it as I see it. There's something particularly annoying about that characteristic I keep seeing in people here. And so like in Poland, there's a lot of investment in infrastructure, right? Like the buses, the trains, the roads. They're putting a lot of money into it. But I notice with the roads, like a huge amount of work in maintaining them, but not a huge amount of forethought in like having good design. Like some of them are truly dangerous just in how they're designed. They're well maintained, they're doing the work, they're just not sitting down and doing the planning. And it's a little disappointing to see. It's frustrating. So, yeah, Poland, not my favorite place.